Yep. Hi guys. Good morning, everyone. So online students, is my voice clear? Please confirm that once again. Please confirm in the chat box. Is my voice clear for everyone? Yes. Perfect. Good guys. So today we are here to discuss about Spring Boot and microservices. All right. So today we are going to understand what is this course is all about and what are the prerequisite in order to attend our Spring Boot and microservices training, and what is our course content, what we are going to learn as part of this Spring Boot and microservices, and how many days this course is going to take, and what are the benefits you are going to get after attending this Spring Boot and microservices training. So as part of today's session, you are going to understand your trainer, who is your trainer and what is his experience, and what are the prerequisites in order to attend this Spring Boot microservices course, and who should join this Spring Boot microservices. And next one, what is our course content? So basically I'm going to give you the roadmap, how we are going to learn this course, what modules we are going to learn as part of this course. And we are going to discuss about course details like what is the duration, how you are going to get the notes of this class, how you are going to get the videos, and what is the fee structure for this course. Okay, so today's agenda, we are going to discuss about these concepts only. From tomorrow onwards, our regular classes are going to start. Actual subject will be starting from tomorrow. So once this discussion is completed, then if you guys are having any questions, then you can interact with me at the end of the session. So I will be giving the clarifications for your questions. All right. So let's get started. So first one, so I will be the trainer for this Spring Boot with microservices training batch. So my name is Ashok. I'm having total 11 plus years of experience as a Java full stack developer. Currently, I am working for a product-based company in Hyderabad location. My current role in the company is a manager. So I'm working for a banking sector company in the Hyderabad location. Apart from this, 11 years experience in IT. I'm also having 8 plus years of experience in the training. Okay, 8 years experience I'm having in the training field. Okay, good. And we started Ashok IT Institute in the year of 2020. So before 2020, I used to work for other institutes in Amirpet as a part-time trainer. In 2020, I have started this Ashok IT Institute. We completed almost 4 years we have completed in this Ashok IT Institute. So this is very quick introduction about myself. So I will be the trainer for this Spring Boot and microservices, both classroom and online training. I'm having total 11 plus years of experience in the IT industry. Currently, I'm working for one of the prod-based company in Hyderabad location. My current role in the project is a manager, and I'm having 8 years experience in the software training. So my skill set, coming to my skill set in Ashok IT, I'm teaching Java full stack. Especially, I'm into the Java frameworks part. So earlier I used to teach core Java, advanced Java also, but from last 1.5 year, 2 years, I'm teaching only Java frameworks like Spring Boot, microservices, Spring Security, and all that stuff. Along with this, I'm having experience in the Linux. I'm having experience in the DevOps. I'm having experience in the AWS cloud also. I'm taking Java frameworks classes and DevOps with the AWS classes also in our institute. Okay, good. Next one, coming to what are the prerequisites in order to attend this course. Okay, what knowledge you should have if you want to sit in my class. So coming to the prerequisites, the very first thing, you should complete your training in core Java. You should be having a strong knowledge in the core Java. So if you have up to Java 1.8 version, that is a sufficient. Okay. If you know Java 11, Java 17, then that is excellent. So minimum Java 8 futures knowledge is required for you in order to attend our classes. In core Java, It's not like only one or two topics. You should have the broad knowledge on all the topics available in the core Java. Like OOPS concepts, you should know practically how to use that OOPS concepts, and especially exception handling, collections framework, multi-threading, and Java 8 futures. Those are very, very, very important topics if you want to attend framework classes. So coming to the core Java, you should have knowledge on OOPS. You should have knowledge on the collections. You should have knowledge on exception handling. You should have knowledge on IO streams, file operations, and you should have knowledge on multi-threading. Okay, what is multi-threading? Why we need to use that multi-threading? And you should have knowledge on Java 8 futures. When I say Java 8 futures, Lambda expressions, stream API, okay, functional interfaces, and what are the predefined functional interfaces available, how to create our own functional interface, how to implement lambdas in the Java, what is the reactive programming, those concepts are required from the core Java. If you don't know these concepts from the core Java, then you are not eligible for this Spring Boot microservices training. So I hope all of you already completed all these topics in the core Java. Anybody who don't know core Java? Is there anybody who don't know core Java? All of you completed your core Java. Very good. Next one, the next thing that is required for this training, that is advanced Java. Coming to advanced Java, so you should have a basic knowledge on JDBC, servlets, and MVC. That's it. If you don't know JSP, that's not a problem because JSP is outdated in the industry. From the last 10 years, people are not using the JSP in the IT industry to develop a project. But in the advanced Java, faculty will teach you JSP to get the basic idea what is presentation layer, what is business layer. But in the real time, we are not going to use JSP for projects development. So earlier, 10 years back, 15 years back, people used to develop the presentation of the project by using JSP. But nowadays, for the presentation, we are using Angular, React.js frameworks. Okay, Angular is available to develop the presentation layer of our application. React.js is also available to develop the presentation of the application. Because of these UI technologies, JSP got outdated in the market. Even in our institute, for advanced Java faculties, I'm telling, don't waste much time for the JSP. At least take only 2 to 3 classes or maximum. Within 4 classes or 5 classes, we should finish the JSP concept because it is not required. Tomorrow when you go for the interview also, nobody will ask a question on the JSP. And I'm telling you, in my total 11 years of experience, only in my first job, in my first company for 1 year, I worked on the JSP. From the last 10 years, I am also not using JSP in my companies. I worked for 4 different companies. Only in my first company in the 2013, I worked on the JSP. From 2014 onwards, I am not using JSP as part of my job. So that's not required. Industry is not using JSP. So if it is not required, why to waste 1 month of time to learn the JSP? Are you getting my point? So JSP is not required. So from the advanced Java, I'm expecting JDBC knowledge from you, basic knowledge on the servlet. What is a servlet? How to create a servlet and how to develop a basic web application by using servlet, how to deploy that web application in the web server like a Tomcat. So we are using Apache Tomcat as a web server. So how to create a web application by using Java, how to deploy that web application in the server, that knowledge is required. And the next one, you should have some knowledge on the MVC architecture, model, view, controller. So that is basically a design pattern which we are going to use to develop our application with a layered architecture. Presentation layer, business layer, data access layer will be available. So to develop our application with some loosely coupling, we are going to follow MVC architecture. MVC means not a coding. It is just a design. So how you are going to organize the classes you are developing in the project, that based on our MVC architecture. So from advanced Java, you people should have knowledge on these 4 topics. All of you clear with these topics in the advanced Java? JDBC, servlets, MVC, and web server. So when I'm talking about JSP, so JSP is required or JSP is not required for us? JSP required, JSP not required for us, guys. JSP required or not required? JSP is not required. Why JSP is not required? Why JSP is not required? Because the JSP is outdated in the market. Very good. So, and next one, you should have knowledge on database. You should have knowledge on database. So in the database, I'm expecting that you are already having some idea on what is SQL. So structured query language, which is used to perform DML, DQL, DCL operations on the database. So you should know what is database, how to create a table, how to perform CRUD operations on the table, how to work with joins in the table. So how to perform join operations in the database table, that knowledge is sufficient. If you don't know PLSQL, not a problem. We don't need to work with that PLSQL as part of our training. So if you have knowledge on the SQL, that is sufficient. And next one, coming to web technologies. Coming to web technologies. So these web technologies, basic idea if you have on HTML and CSS, that is sufficient. Okay, if you don't know that JavaScript and Angular or React, not an issue. If you know what is a web page, how to create a web page, how to display a table in the web page, how to create a form, how to do the form action, that knowledge if you have, then you are eligible to attend this Spring Boot and microservices. These all are the prerequisites in order to attend our Spring Boot with microservices training. Are you clear? So what are the prerequisites for this one? Core Java is a prerequisite. Advanced Java is a prerequisite. In Advanced Java, JSP not required. Basic, how to connect Java application to the database by using JDBC. How to develop a web application by using servlet. How to develop that web application by using MVC architecture. How to deploy that web application into a web server like a Tomcat. Then SQL knowledge is required. From the web technologies, from the UI development, you should have basic knowledge on HTML and CSS. So if you are having knowledge on these 4 areas, then you are eligible to attend our Spring Boot and microservices. And next one, who should join for this course? Who should join for this course? So I have seen that in the market, some faculties are telling Spring Boot microservices is a very advanced technology for the freshers, that is not required. Did you hear that word? Did anybody told you like this? In some institutes, as part of the Java full stack, they are not giving the Spring Boot and microservices because they are saying for freshers, it is not required. They are teaching core Java, advanced Java, database, UI technologies, Java full stack is completed. They are not giving Java frameworks as part of Java full stack development. But understand the reality. Okay. So who should join for this Spring Boot and microservices? So every Java developer should know, this Spring Boot and microservices. So whether you are a fresher, whether you are having 1 year experience, whether you are having 3 years experience, whether you are having 10 years experience also, you should work on Spring Boot microservices only. If you see 100 projects in the IT industry, all the 100 projects are developing based on Spring Boot microservices only in the Java community. So in the today's market, without Spring Boot and microservices, there is no project in the software industry. Every Java project is getting developed based on Spring Boot and microservices. So that is the reason, if you want to get the job as a Java developer, then this Spring Boot knowledge is must and should. So don't think that this is a framework, this is required only for experienced developer. I completed my BTech 2024 or 2023, I'm fresher. For a fresher, this Spring Boot is not required. If you have such a kind of thought in your brain, immediately remove that thought from your brain. Because the fact, if you don't know Spring Boot microservices, they will not consider you for the fresher job also. Because tomorrow when you go to the company, do you think that company will develop a project by using servlet? Company will develop a project by using JDBC? No. Project will be developed based on Spring Boot only. So you don't know Spring Boot. You are thinking that you are a fresher. For a fresher, Spring Boot is not required. If you don't know Spring Boot, tomorrow after going to the company, what you will do? The project is getting developed on the Spring Boot, but you don't know Spring Boot. You are a fresher, that's okay. But as a fresher also, you need to work in the project, right? As a fresher, tomorrow when you go to the company, you need to develop the project or you need to clean the floors and come back to home. Why you will go to the company? To develop the project. So that project is getting developed by using Spring Boot technology. When you don't know that Spring Boot, do you think that company will consider you for that project? Will not consider. So forget about your education, forget about your career gap, forget about your experience. So the first thing that you need to understand, if you want to get the job as a Java developer, then Spring Boot microservices course is mandatory. If Spring Boot microservice is not there in your resume, no company will call you for the interview. Okay, this Spring Boot is optional when if you are attending the interview from your campus. If you are giving interview from your campus selection interviews are there. When you are attending a campus selection interview, they will ask only from core Java, data structures, database UI, that's it. They will not ask on the Spring Boot. But you came out from your college, you are not a fresher, you don't get any campus selection now. You need to go for off-campus interviews. When you go for off-campus interview, compulsory, the company will check whether this person knows Spring Boot microservices or not to work in the project development. Okay. Anybody who is doing their graduation, if they are doing their BTech third year, BTech fourth year, for them it is optional. Who already completed their graduation, for them it is mandatory. Definitely you need to keep Spring Boot in your resume, then only you are going to get the interview call from the company. Now I told you, I'm having 11 years experience, I'm working as a manager. Till today, we need to do coding in the project. Even we are becoming a manager also, we need to develop the code. That code we are developing based on the Spring Boot only. Fresher also will use the Spring Boot. Experienced developers also will use the Spring Boot because the project technology is a Spring Boot only. Without this Spring Boot, there is no Java project in the company nowadays. So that is the reason who should join for this course. Every Java developer should know Spring Boot microservices. Even freshers should learn the Spring Boot microservices. Anybody who is having some career gap students who want to become a Java developer, working professionals, Java working professionals. Java working professionals means they're already working in one company on the old technology like Struts framework, EJB. They are developing a Java project by using old technology. Now, if they want to change from one company to another company, definitely they need to keep Spring Boot in the resume. Otherwise, they are not going to get the interview call from the companies. So if you want to become a Java developer, if you want to get the job as a Java developer in the IT industry, then Spring Boot knowledge is mandatory. Let me show you how many openings are there in the market for the Spring Boot developers. Just you don't need to believe my words, guys. Just go to Naukri website where all the Indians will apply for the jobs. Okay. Now you just go to Naukri website and you just type a skill Spring Boot. I'm just typing a skill Spring Boot developer. Okay. Click on search. Click on search. Now you can see. So Accenture company looking for Spring Boot developer. Okay. So Wipro company looking for Spring Boot developers. Okay. Here TCS looking for Spring Boot developer. Okay. MNC companies and diverse Linux, SNware. So many TCS is looking for Spring Boot. Pixantech is looking for Java Spring Boot developer. So all the companies who are looking for Java developers, they will look for people who knows Spring Boot. Let's go for jobs again. Let me type as Java and you see. So when we say Java developer, high radius is looking for Java developer, senior Java developer, principal Java developer, Java developer, Java developer, full stack developer. Okay, Java developer. Infosys looking for Java developer. Java cloud native developer. UI looking for Java developers. Okay, so if you open any Java opening, then you will understand what are the mandatory skills they are expecting. Java and Spring and React JS. Okay, fine. Let's come back to other opening and check it. Let me IBM. So IBM looking for full stack developer with the Java backend experience. Come back, check the skills, required technical skills. Now, so you see they are asking, what is the technical skill they are asking? Frameworks such as Spring Boot, similar technologies, REST APIs and microservices. Okay, now let's go to another job opening. Infosys is looking for Java developer with 3 to 9 years of experience. Open that. Responsibilities, technical skills. Now, what are the technical requirements they are having? Java, Spring Boot. You open any opening, you open any company having requirement on the Java, you just open that job opening, you just read what are they expecting, what they are expecting from a candidate. Okay, so that is the reason I'm showing you different job openings available here. Let me go to any famous MNC company only, High Radius company from Hyderabad location. They are looking for Java developer. Open that. About us, key responsibilities, skills and experience needed. Now, can you see what is the technology stack they are expecting? So now, can you find any company which is looking for Java developer without Spring Boot knowledge? No, no. So 100% all the Java projects are developing based on Spring Boot only. Now you understand the reality. If you don't know Spring Boot, you will not be considered as a Java developer in the IT industry. So that's why every fresher also should learn Spring Boot and microservices. What are the prerequisites to learn the Spring Boot microservices? Core Java, advanced Java, database, and some web technologies knowledge. If you have, then you are eligible for Spring Boot and microservices. Are you clear with this point? So now can you believe me? Even freshers also should learn the Spring Boot microservices. You go to Naukri. You go to Naukri, just search for Java developer openings. You click on search. So you can see how many companies posted Java openings, guys. 22,000 companies posted openings for Java developers. 22,000 companies posted openings for the Java developers. So in these 22,000 companies, assume that 5,000 companies are related to software training. Some training institutes also will post that we are looking for Java developer. So if you remove that 5,000, still we have 15,000. I'm removing 7,000 from that list. Out of 22,000, I'm removing 7,000. So I'm considering that those 7,000 are institutes are going to post that. 15,000 companies are looking for Java developer. So in these 15,000 companies, you open any company link, High Radius, large IT MNC, High Radius, okay, UKG company is available, Infosys is available for Chennai location, you Exaware company is available. You open any company requirement and you see what they are expecting. Okay, what they are expecting from the people. See here, Hexaware company is expecting strong knowledge on the framework such as Spring Boot. Without having Spring Boot, no company is posting a job opening. So that is the proof to, you don't need to believe my words. You may think that Ashok sir is selling his course to the people in the market. Okay, so that is the reason I'm showing you Naukri website, what job openings are available for the Java developers and what technical skills they are expecting from the candidate. They have clearly, Naukri is not my website. Yes or no? So many companies are posting job openings on the Naukri website. Candidates will go to that Naukri website to apply for the jobs. Before applying for a job, you need to understand what is job description, what that company expecting from the candidate. So out of these 15,000 job openings which are available, you open any company link and see the job description, Spring Boot is available or not. No need to do right now. After the class is completed, you just go to Naukri, search for Java jobs in the Naukri. You open any job opening on the Java and you see they mentioned Spring Boot or not. Then you will come to the reality. Okay, Spring Boot is mandatory to become a Java developer. If you want to get the job in the IT industry as a Java developer, definitely you should become expert in this Spring Boot and microservices technology Otherwise, you will not get the interview call also. So whether it is a fresher or experienced person, they should work with the Spring Boot in the IT industry. Are you clear with my point? Perfect. Good. Next one. So prerequisites are clear, and 1 minute. Prerequisites are clear and we are able to understand who should join for this course. Next one. What is our course content? Sir, as part of this course, what we are going to learn and what is the roadmap for our course? As part of this course, we are going to learn several modules, guys. I have divided the Spring Boot Microservices course into multiple modules. So as part of our first module, as part of the first module, we are going to understand Spring Core. Okay, if you want to learn Spring Boot, you should have some knowledge on Spring Framework. Without having the knowledge on the Spring Framework, directly you can't learn the Spring Boot. So can you learn JDBC directly without learning Core Java? No. Core Java is the base of the Java language. The fundamentals of the Java we are learning as part of Core Java. Then we are going for JDBC. Then we are going for Servlet. Similarly, if you want to learn Spring Boot, the fundamental is Spring Framework. So first you need to learn the fundamental concepts of the Spring Framework. Okay. So that's why as part of the module 1, we are going to learn Spring Core concepts. Let me save this file. Perfect. So the first module that we are going to learn, that is Spring Core module. And next one, once the core module is completed, you will understand I'm getting some noise. Hello, sir. Any problem? Any question? No? If you have any question, you talk to me. Right. So the first module that we are going to learn, that is Spring Core module. So as part of this Spring Core module, we are going to understand what is a framework, how many types of frameworks available in the market, when we are going to use which framework as part of the project development, what is the Spring framework, why Spring framework is popular in the IT industry, that we are going to learn as part of our first module. Once the Spring Core module is completed, then we will start actual Spring Boot. Directly, I'm not going to start the Spring Boot because you will not understand. First, you need to learn the fundamental concepts. That's why we are going to cover Spring Core module. Once the Spring Core module is completed, then module 2, we are going to learn Spring Boot. Once the Spring Boot module is completed, the next one, we are going to discuss about data JPA. We are going to discuss about data JPA. This data JPA is the extension for Hibernate framework, guys. So you are learning JDBC. What is the purpose of JDBC? To communicate with the database. But in the industry, we are not going to use JDBC directly to communicate with the database. In place of JDBC, we are going to use Hibernate to communicate with the database. Hibernate also outdated in the market because of this data JPA. So if you see the diagram wise, if I want to show you, earlier people used to develop Java application by using JDBC to communicate with the database. So this is my Java application and this is my database. Okay. So assume that this is a database and this is my Java application. Earlier, people used to communicate with the database from the Java application by using JDBC as a mediator. After few days, almost 10 years back, 15 years back only, people started using, instead of communicating with the database, earlier we used JDBC as a mediator. Assume that this is my JDBC. Okay. So Java application will communicate with the JDBC. JDBC will communicate with the database. After that, instead of using JDBC, people started using Hibernate to communicate with the database. Okay. Instead of our Java application communicating with the JDBC to communicate with the database, people started using Hibernate framework to communicate with the database. Our Java application will communicate with the Hibernate. Hibernate will communicate with the JDBC. Then JDBC will communicate with the database. One layer came between Java and JDBC. That layer is our Hibernate framework. That Hibernate also outdated in the market from last 4 years. What is the extension for the Hibernate? Currently in the market, people are using data JPA to communicate with the database. That is the reality. In the real time, we are using data JPA to communicate with the database. Sir, why we are going for data JPA to communicate with the database? Because lot of new features introduced in the data JPA. What are those new features? You no need to load the driver. You no need to get the connection. You no need to write the query also. Everything will be taken care by data. You no need to write the queries also when you go for data JPA. You have seen JDBC, right? How you will insert a record in the table? You need to load the driver. You need to get the connection, create the statement, write the query, execute the query, close the connection. 5 to 6 lines of code you need to write. If you go for a Hibernate, same task we can complete with 3 lines of code. Whatever the 5 lines of code you are writing to perform one record insertion in the database. So to insert a record in the database, I need to write 5 lines of code in the JDBC. Load the driver, get the connection, create the statement, execute the query, close the connection. Those 5 lines are common. For example, I want to perform create, insert, update, delete. 4 methods I have to write. 4 into 5, 20 lines I have to write. Okay. For one table, to perform the CRUD operations, I should write 20 lines of code. Are you getting my point? Are you with me? Last row. What I'm talking? Right? So if I want to perform a operation with the database table from the Java application, we are using JDBC. In the JDBC, 5 lines of code I have to write. For example, in my application, I want to perform record insertion, record insert, record update, record delete, record retrieve. So in this insert method, I should write 5 lines of code. Okay. In this update method, I should write 5 lines of code. Inside the delete method, I should write 5 lines of code. Inside the retrieve, I should write 5 lines of code. So total, how many lines I am writing? 20 lines of code I am writing to perform CRUD operations in one table. Okay. In my project, 5,000 tables are available. Then, so when you are doing a course, your faculty will explain JDBC by using employee table, address table, product table, student table. Course will be completed. Yes or no? So you will use only one table to perform the CRUD operations. For one table, if you want to perform the CRUD operation, 4 methods you need to write. In every method, you are going to write 5 lines of code. 4 methods into 5 lines, total 20 lines, your JDBC course will be completed. Yes or no? But think about SBI bank application. How many tables will be available? 1,000, 2,000. In my project, I am working for a banking company, US Bank. In my project, 3,500 database tables available. Now, 3,500 tables. For every table, 4 methods are required. In every method, 5 lines of code is required. Okay. For one table, we need to write 20 lines of code. Now, 3,500 tables available in my project. Now you see, now you calculate in the real time what is happening. 3,500 multiplied by 20. How many lines of code we need to write in the project now? 70,000 lines of code I need to write in the project only to communicate with the database. What about form? What about capturing the form data? What about form validation? And to write that 70,000 lines of code, how many days it is going to take? Minimum 2 months of time you need, right? You need to write the logic to communicate with 3,500 tables in the database. For that, 70,000 lines of code you need to write. If you just write 70,000 lines, your task is not completed. and you need to verify, you need to test that the code is working as expected or not. You need to perform testing also. Development means not only coding. Development means coding plus testing also. To develop the 70,000 lines, you need 3 months of time. To test 70,000 lines working as expected or not, another 2 months of time is required. So total, you need to spend 5 months of time only to communicate with the database in your application. Are you clear with my point? Okay, to avoid this problem in the industry, people are going to use Hibernate framework. So instead of writing 5 lines to communicate with the database table, when you go for a Hibernate, same task we can complete with 3 lines. What is the benefit now? In every method, 2 lines of code is reduced. Okay, so for one table earlier we are writing 20 lines, 4 methods, one table, 4 methods, 4 into 5, 20 lines I need to write for one table. Now here 4 into 3, 12 lines. That means we are able to reduce some lines of code to communicate with the database. That means we can do more work in the less time when you go for Hibernate. But now in the industry, people are developing the project by using data JPA. When you go for a data JPA to communicate with the database, we need to write only 1 line of code. Are you getting my point? If I want to perform a database operation with the table, only 1 line is sufficient for one table. If you want to perform insertion, updation, deletion, retrieving the data, only 1 line of code is required. By writing 1 line of code, I can perform all these operations. That means 20 lines of code is reduced to single line when you go for data JPA. Now tell me, people will use JDBC or data JPA? Data JPA. Why? Why? Less lines of code we are writing, more work we are doing. That means we can complete our project within the less amount of time. If you write more lines of code, more number of bugs will come, more time is required to develop, more time is required for testing. In the industry, we are developing the project by using data JPA. If you use data JPA, only 1 line of code is sufficient to perform database operations with the table. In my project, 3,500 tables available. How many lines of code we are writing? 3,500 lines only. That's it. Instead of writing 70,000 lines of code, we are writing 3,500 lines only. That is the power of data JPA. Are you getting my point? So this is what is happening in the industry. JDBC you should know, but you don't use the JDBC in the industry to develop the project. JDBC is a fundamental to communicate with the database. But on top of that JDBC, Hibernate came. On top of the Hibernate, data JPA came into picture. By using that data JPA, we can perform CRUD operations with the table by writing 1 line of code. Sorry? Each table only 1 line. For one table, only 1 line, you can perform operations on that table. You can perform any type of operation. Create, update, delete, retrieve. Right. Are you getting my point? So what we are going to learn as part of our course? We are going to learn data JPA concept. So tell me, what is the purpose of this data JPA? To communicate with the database. It is used to communicate with the database. Can I say data JPA is a replacement for JDBC? No. No. It is. What is the meaning of replacement? Replacement means without JDBC, if you can use data JPA, that is a replacement. Data JPA is not replacement. Data JPA extension for the JDBC. On top of the JDBC, Hibernate will execute. On top of the Hibernate, data JPA will execute. Are you getting my point? Yes. So here, when we are going to develop the project, my Spring Boot application, my Java application will communicate with the data JPA. Data JPA internally will communicate with the Hibernate. Hibernate internally will communicate with the JDBC. JDBC finally will communicate with the database. Are you guys getting my point? Good. So as part of our course, we are going to learn Spring Core module, basic fundamentals of the Spring framework. Then after we are going to learn Spring Boot, which is very important for our course, but which is very important to get the job also. Without having the knowledge on the Spring Boot, you will not get the job as a Java developer. You can write down those points in your notebook. After 3 months, when you go for the interview, then you will realize what is the importance of that Spring Boot. Okay, next one. Once the basic idea we got on the Spring Boot, then we will go for data JPA, which is used to communicate with the database table. Now, I will show you practically. So if you go to my Git repository here, guys, if you go to my Git repository, 1 minute, Git repository, any example you want from the Spring Boot, you can find in my Git account. Ashok IT Git repository available. 106 projects I kept in my Git repository. Any project that you want related to Java, those projects source code is already available in my Git repository. And my previous batches, my previous Spring Boot batch workspace, whatever the projects I'm going to develop in the class, those projects also available in my Git repository. For reference purpose, you can refer my Git repository. How to use this GitHub? I will take one special workshop. What is GitHub? How to commit our code to GitHub? That because basically Git is a version control where all the developers code will be integrated. As a developer, how to work with the GitHub, I'm going to take a class for you. Okay, now come here, come to repositories. So here if you see, there is a SBMS workspace is available. That is my previous Spring Boot batch workspace. That means whatever the examples I have developed in the previous batch, all those examples available in the GitHub. If you see here, there is a project called Data JPA project is available. So now go to Data JPA. In the Data JPA, you can see what is the code I have written. Go to this Java application, repository, employee repository. Okay, this one line of code is sufficient to perform CRUD operations with the table. You no need to load the driver, no need to get the connection, no need to write the query also. Everything will be provided by Data JPA with this single line of code. That means you are going to create one interface to perform CRUD operations with the table. So for one table, one line of code is sufficient to perform CRUD operations. That's where Data JPA comes into picture. Are you clear? Good. Next one. Once the Data JPA is completed, then we will go for module 4. As part of module 4, we are going to learn Spring Web MVC. We are going to learn Spring Web MVC. This Spring Web MVC is the extension for your servlet. Whatever the servlet you are learning, right? What is the purpose of servlet? Which is used to develop a web application. So if you go for servlet, what you need to do, suppose I have a form. I want to capture form data. How you will do that in the servlet? Request.get parameter. My form is having 50 fields. 50 lines of code I need to write. Request.get parameter first name, request.get parameter last name, request.get parameter email, request.get parameter phone number, gender, date of birth. Lot of code I need to write. But same web application we can develop with 0 lines of code by using Web MVC. So whenever you want to develop a web application, we have two options. Servlet is available, Web MVC is available. Spring Web MVC is available. So easily we can develop web application in the Java by using Spring Web MVC module. Okay. If you want to develop a web application, then you are going to learn Spring Web MVC module. Okay. Now, once this Web MVC module, when you go for Web MVC, here we are going to develop a application with C2B model, customer to business model. C2B nothing but what? Customer to business model. What is the meaning of customer to business? Customer will communicate with our application directly by using user interface, like a Gmail application, like Facebook application, like LinkedIn application, like Naukri application. User interface also will be available. customer will communicate with our application directly. That is called C2B communication. To develop a application with the C2B, we are going to use a module called Spring Web MVC module. By using Spring Web MVC module, excuse me, by using Spring Web MVC module, we can develop web applications. Data JPA to communicate with the database. Web MVC to develop a web application. Once web application is completed, then we will go for next module, that is our Spring REST. Spring REST. This is Spring REST we are going to use to develop web services. What is the meaning of web service? Every day you are using web services. What is the meaning of web service? No? No idea? Anyone? What is a web service? Gmail is not a web service. No, it is a web application. Right. Web services are used to develop distributed application. Simple example, everyone using Google Pay, right? How many times you transferred money from your account to your friend account? Everyone is using Google Pay, Phone Pay, Paytm and all that stuff, right? You have Google Pay, your bank account is in the SBI. I am also using Google Pay, my bank account available in the HDFC. From your SBI Google Pay account, you are sending money to my Google Pay account, which is in the HDFC. How the money coming from SBI bank account to HDFC bank account, these two banks are same? No. So from one bank account, money is going to another bank account. That means Axis Bank project is communicating with the HDFC Bank project. One project is communicating with the another project. If you want to communicate from one project to another project, web service is required. So to establish the communication from one application to another application, then we need to develop web services. Those web services are called as distributed services. So if you want to establish communication from one application to another application, then web services are required. For example, you will go to passport office to apply for passport. When you go for passport application, passport people will ask your Aadhaar number. When you enter your Aadhaar number, immediately OTP will come to your mobile. OTP will send by Aadhaar project, not passport project. That means your passport project is communicating with the Aadhaar project. So that's where web services are used. In the real time, one project is going to communicate with the another project. Those are called web services. Those are called web services. Are you clear with my point? One application will communicate with the another application. So if you want to establish communication between one application to another application, web services are required. And you attended full stack demos, right? Front-end application, back-end application. Front-end will be developed by React or Angular. Back-end will be developed by Java. Those are web services only. Java application, red shirt, stand up. Bring your mobile. Yeah, come here. Why you came to the class, man? What's your name? सुनाई नहीं दे रहा. जोर से बात करो. थोड़ा जोर से बोलो. Mohiram. Why you came for the class? Then why are you chatting in mobile? क्यों देख रहा भाई? मोबाइल नीचे क्या है? क्या देख रहे हैं? When you are in the class, you need to concentrate. Okay? Don't repeat. If you are not, I'm not requesting you to come to my classes. If you are not interested, door is open. You can leave at any point of time. If you are in the class, I need your attention. Because you are having mobile. I'm having two mobiles. You are chatting in the class. You are seeing your mobile. In middle of the class, if I open my mobile, I'm getting a lot of messages. For every 10 minutes, I'm getting a call. I'm getting a message. In the middle of the class, if I use my mobile, what is your opinion? What you will feel? You will get frustrated, right? Sir is not serious to teach the subject. Sir is not interested to take. I'm also getting a call for every 10 minutes. For every 10 minutes, I'm getting the mobile. Okay. So for every 10 minutes, I'm getting the message. What I have two WhatsApp accounts, business account, normal WhatsApp, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, Naukri. My company mail is also available. Institute staff members are messaging. I can also check my mobile in the class. Then what will happen? You will get disturbed, right? You will lose your interest, right? If you use mobile in the class, same feeling for me also. When I am teaching the subject, if you open your mobile, if you see that, I will lose my interest. Okay, if you are really interested, don't use your mobiles in the class. Just concentrate on the class. If you are not interested, you can leave at any point of time. This is not school to close the door. It is a professional course. If you want job, then you have to do this course. If you don't want job, then you can leave. No problem. Am I going to lose anything? Am I going to lose anything? No. I will not lose anything. You will be the loser if you don't concentrate on the class. Just have that maturity before coming to the class. Okay? I need your attention. I need your concentration. Then I can concentrate on the class. If you disturb, if you are using mobile, my mind will be disturbed. अरे ये बंदा मोबाइल देख रहा है, ये बंदा chatting कर रहा है, ये बंदा सो जा रहा है. If you are doing like that, then I will lose my interest. Class will be disturbed. Got my point? So give me proper healthy environment. I will give you proper subject. Give and take. You give me proper environment, I will give you proper subject. Are you getting my point? Good. Fine. So we are going to learn Spring REST here. What is the purpose of that Spring REST? Spring REST is used to develop web services. Why we need to use web services? In the real time, every project is going to communicate with some other project. One project will communicate with some other project. That's where we are going to use this web services concept. So if you want to develop a full stack application, then you need to use web services only. Full stack application means front end will be developed by one technology, back end will be developed by another technology. So Angular project should communicate with the Java project. React project should communicate with the Java project. If one project want to communicate with the another project, we need to develop web services. To develop that web services, we are going to use Spring REST. Okay, in your career, once you join as a Java developer, every day you are going to develop web services only. In the industry nowadays, every project is based on microservices architecture. Microservices nothing but small web services we are going to develop. Sir, why we are learning this core module Boot JPA Web MVC to develop these web services only? Our main course, our main concept in the course is module 5. So if you want to develop the web services, you should have knowledge on these 4 modules first. Then only you can develop web services with the industry standard. Okay. Once you develop this web services by using Spring REST, then we are going to implement microservices architecture. Okay, our course is Spring Boot and microservices, right? So microservices is a design pattern to develop small REST APIs in our project. Okay, so small REST APIs are going to develop. So that microservices we are going to learn as part of module 6. As part of this microservices, we are going to use Spring Cloud concepts. As part of the microservices, we are going to use Spring Cloud concepts. Okay. Then after this Spring Cloud concepts, module 8, we are going to learn Spring Security. We are going to learn Spring Security. For every project, security is important. For every project, security is important. So how to secure our application, how to implement authentication for our project, how to implement authorization for our project, we are going to understand as part of our Spring Security module. Once all these things are completed, bonus, I'm going to give you some real-time tools also. Okay, these real-time tools we are going to conduct on the weekends, guys. So every Sunday, I'm going to conduct some workshop for you. I think, have you attended my recent workshop? Anybody attended? No? I explained how to implement payment gateway in the Java application. What do you mean by payment gateway? What is the meaning of payment gateway? Payments, right? When you are purchasing a mobile in the Amazon, you are paying directly in the Amazon website, right? So this is the problem. You need to, and whenever you are using one application, don't use it like a end user. What is the meaning of end user? Non-IT people will use the Amazon application is available. I will open that application on my mobile. I will purchase a product and I will pay the amount. Then I will get the mobile. Your mind is thinking up to that level only. But when I am using that application in my mobile, always I will think what is happening in the background. How they have implemented this payment gateway. How they are deducting money from my account. How the money is going to Amazon account. So how I am able to track my order, how they have implemented code in the background, how that code is working in the background. You need to get that idea. Then you are called as a developer. So developer means always you need to think behind the scene. You are using Gmail application, use email ID, password, enter, login. But you need to think that mind should work like this. When I click on login button, how the code is working in the Gmail application. How I need to develop such kind of project on my own. Okay. So you need to always think about coding part. Coding part. Who will use application directly? Anybody from non-IT background, anybody who is not from the programming background, they will use the application directly. They will think like an end user. You should not think like an end user because you are a programmer. You are going to develop such kind of projects in the future. You need to develop such kind of project in the future. So to develop such kind of projects in the future, you should have that maturity. You should have that imagination. What is happening in the project? How many projects you are using in your daily life on an average? How many software projects you are using on daily? Every day you will use YouTube, Instagram, Naukri, Facebook, WhatsApp, Swiggy, Zomato, Amazon, Flipkart. Minimum 10 to 15 applications you will use every day. That is part of our life. That is part of our life. Have you ever thought what is the architecture of the WhatsApp? How they developed that WhatsApp? What is the architecture of YouTube? How they developed it? Have you ever thought how they are able to store these many videos in the YouTube database? Have, have you ever thought how the payments are happening in the application directly? Have you ever thought of that? No. So that means you are still thinking like a college student. You need to come out from that circle. You need to think like a real-time experienced developer. Last Sunday, I think before last Sunday, I have conducted one free workshop for 2 hours. I think 500 to 600 people joined for that workshop. In that workshop, I have done the coding to implement payment gateway in the Java project. If you run my project, it will open the payment gateway. You can do the payment directly. So most of the developers don't know how to implement payment gateway in the Java project. Do you know that? You don't know. But how many times you have done online payments? 100 to 200 times you have done. But you don't know how to implement that payment gateway. Okay. So I will show you that. So if you go to our YouTube channel, Ashok IT channel, very last weekend workshop, I have conducted that. So go to Ashok IT. So if you go to our YouTube channel, live videos. So this is Spring Boot with payment gateway. Where is that? Yeah. Spring Boot with the payment gateway integration. This is the video. How much time it has taken? Almost 2 hours class I have taken. In the live session, 500 to 600 people across, approximately those many people joined, and 2 hours class happened. So as part of this class, I have explained how to implement payment gateway in our project. So what is the meaning of payment gateway? Just I will show you the demo. Yeah, right. See here. Razorpay integration I have implemented by using Spring Boot. Okay. So the project demo also you can see now. I'm running my project. You see that? That is the Spring Boot project I have developed in the class. When I run this project and here tables and all that stuff, yes. This is the Razorpay with the payment gateway integration. You just see what is happening in the project now. This is sample demo I have done in the workshop in 2 hours of time. Live coding I have done. I have developed that code. I have integrated payment gateway in the class. So you see, I'm filling my data. I'm entering some amount. Click on proceed to pay. When you click on proceed to pay, it is going to open payment gateway. Now see here. Click on proceed to pay. When I click on proceed to pay, then the payment gateway is coming. So this is what real time. In the real time, these kind of tasks will be assigned to you. Are you getting my point? So within 2 hours, you can learn that concept. Within 2 hours, you can learn that concept. That's not big deal. You already know Java. Java code only we have implemented. With that Java code, we are able to integrate payment gateway in our project. So such kind of real-time scenarios, we are going to learn as part of our weekends. Every Sunday, I will plan one workshop. Okay. This is Sunday. Next Sunday, we are planning a workshop, Spring Boot with WhatsApp integration. What is the meaning of WhatsApp integration? From the Spring Boot project, you can send the WhatsApp message to the people. So did you get a WhatsApp message regarding this batch to your WhatsApp number? You get a message? So how many people got that message? That is automated message. That is a automated. Do you think that when my new batch is starting, I will send you a WhatsApp message to 5,000 people who are having inquiries for the Spring Boot? Do you think that for 5,000 people, I will send a message one by one by using my mobile? Will I send a message to 5,000 people manually? Suppose, for example, I have 1 lakh students in the institute. I want to send a WhatsApp message to 1 lakh people. Will I send, if I start sending message to 1 lakh people manually, when it will be completed? After 1 month. Yes, we need to create the account in the Razorpay. For every, you don't need to pay the amount for the Razorpay. For every transaction, they will take 2%. 2% is their commission. So in the Razorpay, I created my account in the Razorpay. In that account, I will give my bank details also. Now, when you purchase something in my website, your amount will go to Razorpay directly, not to my account. Razorpay will deduct 2% commission from your amount, whatever you paid. For example, you pay 10,000 rupees for product purchase in my website. The 10,000 rupees will go to Razorpay. From the 10,000, 2% they will deduct for commission. Remaining 98% they will send to my account after 2 days. That is a settlement. Okay, every e-commerce application will have this kind of settlements only. When you are doing online payment, it will not go to that company directly. It will go to the payment gateway provider. They will deduct commission. Remaining amount they will send to my account after 2 days. That is how we need to integrate. Even when you are purchasing something in Amazon, amount will not go to Amazon directly. Amount will go to payment gateway provider. They will deduct commission. Remaining amount they will send to Amazon. You got my point? Good. So here we are going to conduct a weekend workshop. Okay. So as I'm telling you, 1 lakh messages I need to send to the people regarding my new batch announcement. For 1 lakh people, can I send manually? Can I send message to 1 lakh people manually? No. Then what I will do? I'm a programmer. I will write code. Whatever the work that you are doing manually, I will do that with my code. I have developed one Java project. In that Java project, I have integrated WhatsApp API. WhatsApp Business API is available. Ashok IT is using WhatsApp Business API. When I want to send a message to 1 lakh people, it will take 30 seconds for me. Why 30 seconds? To run my Java project. In my Java project, if I click button, it will send the WhatsApp message to 1 lakh people at a time. So that is WhatsApp integration. This is Sunday we are having that workshop. How to integrate Spring Boot application with the WhatsApp Business API to send bulk SMS to the people WhatsApp numbers. Okay. If you are interested, you can attend for that workshop. Right. So like this, we are going to discuss some real-time tools on the weekends. What are the real-time tools we are going to cover? As part of the weekend workshops, we are going to cover JUnit, which is used for unit testing. We are going to cover logging, to implement logging in our application. And we are going to cover Kafka, We are going to cover Apache Kafka. We are going to cover Redis. We are going to cover Docker. We are going to cover Jenkins also. Like this, we are going to learn some real-time tools, and we are going to learn Swagger. We are going to learn Postman. Like this, some tools we are going to use as part of our projects development in the industry. So you need to work with these tools also. So I'm going to cover some real-time tools. So every Sunday, mostly monthly, minimum to minimum, 2 to 3 weekend workshops will be available. Every Sunday morning 9 to 11, 2 hours workshop will be available. In that workshop, we are going to cover some real-time tools which are very, very, very important for you to work in the project development. Okay. So this is our agenda, guys. This is our agenda for our Spring Boot microservices. This is our course content basically. First module, Spring Core. Second module, Spring Boot. Third module, Data JPA. Fourth module, WebMVC. Fifth module, Spring REST. Sixth module, microservices. Seventh module, Spring Cloud. Eighth module, Spring Security. Ninth module, some real-time tools. Over the weekends, we are going to cover these real-time tools. With these things, our course will be completed. With this syllabus, our course will be completed. Are you clear? Any questions? Now, sir, what about project? As part of this course, we are going to develop, for every topic we are going to develop one project. So those are mini projects. So when I'm explaining data JPA, on the data JPA, we are going to develop 3-4 projects. When I'm talking about WebMVC, on the WebMVC, we are going to develop 3-4 projects. When I go for REST API, again 3-4 projects we are going to develop. For microservices project will be there. For security project, for every topic we are going to develop the project. By end of the course, we will be developing in the class around 50 to 60 projects we are going to develop. Those are called our mini projects. For every topic, one project will be available. So you can see in my previous batch repository also, you can see how many projects are available. SBMS 39 was my previous batch I have completed. In that batch, if you see, I have completed 59 projects. So for every topic, one project will be available. So if you see data JPA, how many projects I have developed on the data JPA? Almost 7 projects I have developed. When you talk about web, you can see in every project code will be available. These are the same examples that we are going to develop. For your reference purpose, you can use this. For this project, you can see here my service layer is available, product service. This is the code that we are going to develop. Okay. So like this, we are going to develop 50 to 60 projects as part of our course. Getting my point? And some people may ask, sir, I have some career gap. I want to go as an experienced developer. For them, we have a special course in our institute, which is Java Real-Time Project Development. When I say Java Real-Time Project, one complete major project we are going to develop by using Spring Boot, microservices, Angular, AWS Cloud. So what kind of major project? My new batch started 10 days back. 10 days back, my morning batch started at 7 a.m. That is completely online batch. In that online batch, I'm going to teach the people how to develop one e-commerce application. What is the meaning of e-commerce application? What is the meaning of e-commerce application? So that kind of project we are going to develop. This is my e-commerce project we are going to develop in my Java real-time project development course. Okay. So if you see, this is the project you can just see that this is the project I have developed. Java real-time project development. So this is like purchasing a products in the online. So if you see here, products are displaying. You can fill this project is developed by using Angular and Spring Boot. Backend is Spring Boot, front end is Angular. So if you click on mobiles, only mobiles will come. If you click on shirts, only shirts will come. You can search for the products also. So when there is no product, message is coming like this. When you search for something, based on the search criteria, the products will be displayed. Then whatever the product you want to purchase, you can add the product to the cart. Okay, just go through this. Mobiles, I'm searching for that. If it is not matching, then it is not coming. Products are available currently. In my cart, 0 products are available. Just add the product to the cart. When I click on add to cart, my cart status will be updated. Click on add to cart. Yes. One product is added to the cart. Cart price is updated. You can see that. I can add the products to the cart. Multiple products I can add to the cart. So then I can go to the click on the cart. It will display what all the items available in the cart. Right? Add to the cart. Total 3 products I added to the cart. Go to that cart. Click on that. When you click on the cart, it will display. There is an option to increase the quantity and decrease the quantity. I can increase the quantity. I can decrease the quantity. When I increase, price will be updated. Total cost will be updated. If you don't want, you can remove the product from the cart. So in my project batch, people will develop this project on their own. That is Java real-time project development. Real-time project means completely one project we are going to develop end to end, so that people can show their gap as an experience by keeping this project in the resume. So I will be taking 2 courses. One is Spring Boot Microservices. Another one is Java real-time project. My real-time project batch already started 10 days back. For them, Linux also completed. From tomorrow, they are going to learn AWS Cloud as part of the project. So checkout form is available. Fill the details. Purchase. When I click on purchase, payment gateway will come. Again, payment processing. This kind of project we are going to develop in the live class. So that is test mode. No need to pay the real amount as part of testing purpose. Select the bank. Click on pay now. It will open the bank page. Successful transaction. Once you click on success, it will show you the payment history, what payment is completed. Click on that success. Right, payment is completed successfully. It will redirect you to the payment confirmation page. Yes, payment is successful. Your order is generated. Then you go to login into application, check the orders you have placed. So you log in here with your credentials. Once you log in, what all the orders you placed, the orders information will be displayed. Yes, these are the orders I have placed, my orders available. You can track your order, you can cancel the order. So that kind of e-commerce project we are going to develop. That is a major project batch. Okay, good. So in that batch, we are going to cover 20 plus real-time tools, 2 mini projects we are going to develop. One major project like this project only we are going to develop. Angular we are teaching for them. Linux we will teach. AWS Cloud will teach. Finally, this project we are going to deploy in the AWS Cloud. So if anyone interested, they can join for project development. If anybody want to cover their gap as experience, for them, this kind of project development will help you a lot. So whatever 3 years gap is there, that gap you can show as an experience after developing that kind of one real-time project, end-to-end full stack development. Backend with Spring Boot microservices, front-end with the Angular, project deployment in the AWS cloud. Okay, good. Fine. So this is about our course details, guys. You understood prerequisites, you understood whether you are eligible to join this course or not, and I hope you realized whether this course is important for you or not. Okay, and the second thing, course content, what we are going to learn as part of our Spring Boot microservices course. I'm repeating once again, total course is divided into 9 modules here. The first module, Spring Core, second module, Spring Boot, third module, Data JPA, fourth module, WebMVC, fifth module, come on, read out. Spring REST, sixth module, microservices, seventh module, Spring Cloud, eighth module, security, ninth module, real-time tools. Over the weekends, we are going to learn those tools. Every Sunday, workshop will be available mostly. Monthly, 3 Sundays, we are going to conduct the workshops. All right. Then coming to our course details, guys. As we discussed already, the course name is Spring Boot with Microservices, which contains 9 modules. For every course, we are giving one code. This is our 45 batch in the Spring Boot. In our Ashoka IT, this is 45th batch. In last 4 years, we completed 44 batches for the Spring Boot. This is our 45 batch for the Spring Boot. So the batch code is 45 SBMS. Okay. And the class timings, as we discussed, daily class will be there from 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. IST. Daily 1.5 hour class will be available, and the classes are going to happen from Monday to Monday. What is the meaning of Monday to Monday? Sunday also class is there. Sunday workshop will be available. Okay. So weekly 7 days our classes will be available. Monday to Monday classes will be available. So mostly 3 Sundays I'm going to take for the workshops. Okay. Any one Sunday, if I have some personal work, if you people are feeling overloaded, then we can take break on one Sunday. All right. Good. So Monday to Saturday classes will happen. Sunday workshop is going to happen. All right. So course is Spring Boot with microservices, course code 45 SBMS, class timings 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. IST. Monday to Monday classes will be available, and this course duration total 3 months of time it is going to take. So to complete all the 9 modules whatever we discussed, it is going to take total 3 months of time. Is my voice audible? Yeah. So it is going to take 3 months of time, and as part of this course, guys, you are going to get soft copy notes. For every topic, I'm going to prepare the notes like this. That's notes I will share with you. When you are coming to the class, you no need to bring any notebook. You just need to concentrate on the class. After the class is completed, whatever the notes I am writing, these notes I will share on daily basis. Soft copy material we are going to provide. How to access that notes? That notes you are going to access from our Ashok ID website. So our website is available. So here, once you log in, let me log in into my website. I forgot my password. Check now. Sign in with Google. Okay, something like this. No, guys, I forgot my password. Oh, sorry, it is my personal laptop. Okay, so once you log in into the website, there will be a course for you. From there, you can download the class notes also. Whatever the notes I am going to write in the class, every day after the class is completed, I will upload that notes into the website. And coming to the course fees, guys, this is Spring Boot Microservices course fees is 8,000 rupees. Okay, so for these 8,000 rupees, you are going to attend live classes and you are going to get the notes also. If anybody want to take the backup videos, for backup videos, we are charging 2,000 rupees extra. So if you are going to get the backup videos also for this class, 1 year validity will be available for the backup videos. From the course completion date, next to 1 year, the backup videos also will be available. So if you miss any class, if you want to revise any topic, then on daily basis, backup videos also will be provided. If you don't want backup videos, the course fees is 8,000. If you want to backup videos, the total fees will be 10,000 rupees. Okay, good. Course code 45 SBMS, timings, duration, soft copy notes will be provided, soft copy notes on daily basis. Okay, course fees will be available as 8,000 rupees, live classes plus notes. If you want backup videos, then 2,000 rupees extra for 1 year validity. So total fees is going to be 10,000. If you want with videos, if you don't want videos, total fees is going to be 8,000 rupees. All right, good. Along with this, guys, as part of this, we are going to provide you your resume building, how to prepare your resume, and we are going to provide topic wise interview questions also. 9 modules are available, right? Module wise, I'm going to provide FAQs. Topic wise, my FAQs I'm going to provide. And the next one, we are going to conduct mock interviews also for the candidates who are interested to give the mock interview. For them, we are going to take the mock interview also. So after 1 month course is completed, for every day, I will take the mock interview for 2 to 3 candidates so that you will understand how you are explaining the concept in the interview. So if you attend 2 to 3 mock interviews, then it will give you a lot of confidence to attend the real interview. Those mock interviews also we are going to conduct as part of our course. Okay, all good. Any questions, anyone? And if anybody interested to join for the Java project development, already my old batch, 10-15 days back batch is started. For them, demos completed, Linux also completed. So after 1 week or 10 days of time, I will start one more Java real-time project. Then you guys can attend for that if you are interested. That is a separate batch. For the project batch, fees is 9,000 rupees. In that, you are going to get Angular, AWS, Linux, 2 mini projects, 1 major project, 20 plus tools will be available. New project batch will start after 10 days of time. Okay, so you can attend Spring Boot Microservices and Java real-time project batches parallelly. 2 courses you can attend parallelly, no problem. Good. So this is all about today, that is Spring Boot Microservices. From tomorrow, we are going to start with our syllabus. So from tomorrow onwards, we are going to start with our first module that is related to Spring Core. So no more demo sessions, only one demo. Today it is completed. From tomorrow onwards, main topics are going to start. Directly I'm going to start with Spring Core module from tomorrow onwards. Is it fine? You want one more demo? Why demos time waste, right? Why we need demos? So I hope you got the clarity on what is this course, what are the prerequisites, what we are going to learn as part of the course, what is the duration, what is the timing, what is the fees, what you are going to get from this course, everything you are going to learn. And one more important thing, from last 7 years onwards, I am working on the Spring Boot. Whatever I know, whatever I have learnt in the Spring Boot, in the last Spring Boot, I have learnt on my own as part of my job. So in the company, they will not conduct any trainings for you to learn the technology. In the company, they will tell you, you have to work on the technology. You have to learn on your own. You have to work on the technology. Spring Boot, I have learnt on my own 7 years back, and I am working on the Spring Boot from last 7 years. Whatever I know in the Spring Boot, everything I am going to teach as part of the course. Okay, after this course is completed, happily you can keep 3+ years of experience as Spring Boot developer. So whatever the content that we are going to learn in the course, that is 7+ years experienced content. So easily, happily, aramse you can keep. You are having 3+ years of experience as Spring Boot microservices developer. That is the benefit you are going to get from the course, because I am working from last 7 years on the Spring Boot. I know what are the problems I have faced, what are the challenges, where to use which concept in the project development. You have seen we have developed one e-commerce end-to-end application by using Spring Boot. So we have practical knowledge on the Spring Boot. That practical knowledge I will give you. Then it is your choice whether you want to take it or not. Okay. From my side, I will give the best content. You can check with anybody in Amirpet who is best faculty for the Spring Boot. You will get the answer. Right. So I will give you the best content in the Spring Boot and microservices. I am expecting cooperation from your side also. Right. You need to give your support. You need to practice on daily basis. It's not like just teaching, right? I will give the subject, I will give the notes, I will give the examples. Every example we will develop in the live class. It's not like whatever the previous batch code is available, I'm going to execute. Everything we are going to develop from the scratch. Every line of code I'm going to write in front of you by using IntelliJ IDEA. Okay? And every code, every line we are writing, we are going to debug also in the class to understand how the code is getting executed. How many of you know debugging? 1%, 2%. Basic knowledge of debugging. Okay. The very first thing that you have to do to become a developer, to learn debugging. You should know how to debug a program. Debugging means execute the program line by line to understand execution flow. I will teach you the debugging also, because without using debugging, I cannot write the code in the class. Okay. So if I write 5 lines of code, I need to execute those 5 lines in the debugging mode. So I will teach you what is debugging, how to work with the debugging also. Clear? Good. Fine. So this is from my end for today. Anybody having any questions? Are you happy with the demo? Are you confident? You have faith on your trainer now, right? So yes, definitely from my side, I will keep my 100% effort. If you keep your 100% effort, then magic will happen. You are going to get the job as a 3 years experienced Spring Boot developer. Once this course is completed, you are equal to 3 years experienced developer in the industry, because that much content you are going to learn. After this course, I mean every day 1.5 hour class will be available. After the class is completed, you need to do 1.5 hour practice also. Are you getting my point? So 1.5 hour class will be available. 1.5 hour practice also required. And for practice, I will be available. For your lab sessions, I will be available. My duty is not just take the class and go to home. After your class is completed, I will be available here only. During your practice also, if you are facing any problem while doing the practice, I will help you to solve those problems. So faculty will be there with you in the lab sessions also. Are you getting my point? Who will give you this much support, right? You have to utilize this properly. You have utilized properly. So daily 3 hours class will be there. 1.5 hour class, 1.5 hour lab will be available. Lab also you need to do in the institute only. I will be available in the institute till 1 o'clock. My office will start at 2 o'clock. I will be available till 1 o'clock in the institute. 11 o'clock our class will be completed. So you need to sit in the lab or you sit in the classroom and do the practice. So if you get some doubt while doing the practice, you can bring your laptop to me. I will tell you what is the problem, how to solve that problem also. Without doing the practice, there is no use of joining for the course. Practice is very, very, very important. Again, good. So have you attended any Spring Boot demo in other institute? I request you please attend that also. Then you will know power of this course. Okay. So in the market, you attended? Okay. So I don't want the names just. So what is the difference you feel? You just go to other institute also, attend the Spring Boot demo, then come to my class, then feel the difference in the content. Feel the difference in the content. Then you can decide where to join for the Spring Boot course. 100% I am confident we are the best in the Java, Spring Boot microservices, real-time projects development in the entire Amirpet. So you can go to other institute, you can attend the demo, you can see that what they are explaining, what they are covering. You can compare our syllabus with their syllabus, this faculty with that faculty, then take a best decision to join for Spring Boot microservices. Is it good? Fine. Fine guys, with this I'm done from my side for today. So from tomorrow, our journey will start with Spring Core module. Okay, no more demos, no more time waste. Directly we'll start the subject from tomorrow onwards. Don't miss the classes from tomorrow. You can also join in that, sir. Today's class notes, today video I'm going to share in the WhatsApp community. So for online students, I have given that WhatsApp link in the chat box. Okay, you can click. So go to Ashokadi website. There is a training schedule. Online training is available. In the online training here, Spring Boot course is available. Here there is a register now option. If you click on this, it will open the WhatsApp community only. You join in that community, you will get all the updates. The most important things, guys, you are going to get some interview question related videos in that WhatsApp community. How to explain self-introduction in the interview, how to explain roles and responsibilities in the interview. So I have made some short videos and I have uploaded those videos in the YouTube also. So if you see in our YouTube channel, self-introduction, how to explain self-introduction in the interview as a Java developer, I have given one video. How to explain self-introduction in the interview, I have given one short video. So these kind of short videos which are very, very useful for you, I'm going to share in that WhatsApp community. So in this video, I have explained how to answer, tell me about yourself question in the interview. Okay. If you watch that video, then you will get that clarity. Okay. So I have seen many people after completing the course also, they are not able to explain about themselves for 1 minute. So I have given the answer for self-introduction and I have given how to explain roles and responsibilities in the interview as a Java developer. As a Java developer, how suppose if you go for the interview, what is the first question they will ask? Tell me about yourself. Tell me about your project. Tell me your roles and responsibilities in the project. 90% of the people who are doing the course in Amirpet are not able to answer those questions properly. For them, I have prepared my video. So if you go through that video, you will understand how to answer those questions in the interview. These kind of short videos and Interview question videos also available. Mock interviews also I have taken. So if you go to this channel, then you will get all such kind of videos, right? So if you go to Ashok IT YouTube channel, you can find all the latest videos here. Popular videos, if you see, some questions I have given on the coding. How to remove duplicate characters in the string, how to reverse a string in the 4 different ways, some logical question videos I uploaded, complete Spring Boot course I have explained in the 3 hours, and I explained the top 80 Java interview questions for experienced people, 100 plus interview questions on the Spring Boot. So there are a lot of useful videos. Now, top 10 programs asked on the strings related to coding challenges. In 2 hours, I have explained top 10 string programs which are going to ask in the interview. This kind of videos we are going to share in that WhatsApp community. How to work with Tomcat server, how to do the debugging in the Eclipse IDE. I have posted that video 5 years back. How to do the debugging in the IDE. So this kind of useful videos I'm going to share in the WhatsApp community. You can join. How to handle exceptions in the Spring Boot. What is the Stream API? Okay. So these questions, what is Spring Boot interview guide? Spring Boot with the JPA, MySQL card operations, and how to deploy our Spring Boot application by using AWS Cloud, how to create a REST API by using Spring Boot. Mock interview I have taken for one candidate, Java 3+ years experience mock interview I have conducted. So there are so many useful videos available in our YouTube channel. How to create REST API by using Spring Boot. Okay. Spring MVC introduction, Linux classes available, deploying Spring Boot application in the AWS cloud. So there are very important videos are there in our YouTube channel. You can go through those. Those videos, every day I will share one video in the community so that people will learn some new concept every day. So for next 3 months, every day, apart from the classes, apart from the practice, you have to learn some new topic related to your communication, related to coding, related to debugging, related to tools. So 3 months you need to dedicate, minimum you need to spend 5 hours for me. 1.5 hour class, 1.5 hour practice, 2 hours for additional content for your presentation, for your communication. Got my point? Good. Yep. Yes, go to Ashok ID website, go to online training. There you can see Spring Boot Microservices. Click on the register now button. Spring Boot microservice available. Click on the register now button. There is a WhatsApp community. Yeah, join in that. You will get my updates in that WhatsApp group. For online people also, I'm giving the link in the chat box. Please join. Now, fine guys, with this we are good. From tomorrow our classes are going to start. Now it is time for doubts clarification. Every day at the end of the session, you can ask your questions to me. Okay, good. First, let's give the chance for online people to ask the doubts. I'm stopping the recording.